Previously, we looked at watches worn by iconic villains in film and one TV show. Today, we are slowly working our way up the morality scale. It's time to look at the anti-heroes and their watches. Welcome back to the WatchGecko channel, all you watch heroes and nerds. As always, I am your host, Chris, and I'm all about watches, cars, long walks on the beach, and of course, I've been known to watch a film or two. Today, I'm going to take a look at 5 iconic anti-heroes, and most importantly, the 5 watches that they wear. Now, this list is going to be just as cool as the last one. But do you know what else is cool? The WatchGecko store. You can find a huge range of watch straps, accessories, as well as some choice micro brands. Swing by the WatchGecko website to learn more. So, kicking off this list in style, we have the properly rare Omega La Magique, worn by Al Pacino's Tony Montana in Scarface. I think this watch works so well for this character. It's gold, it's a little garish, and it shows how wealthy the character gets towards the end. Now, I've never seen one of these watches in the wild, and I would bet you dollars to donuts that you probably haven't either. So I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to how much this one costs, but lower down the scale of vintage Omega watches, you can find a tank-shaped precious metal or non-precious metal watch for as little as £500 and up to £1,500 dependent on model, age and condition. So yeah, go nuts with that. Despite some of the other entries on this list, this next entry is probably considered a proper bastard. And that's saying something, seeing as I have 3 gangsters on this list. This is Gordon Gekko, played brilliantly by Michael Douglas. The film Wall Street is another story about how money corrupts, and what better display to do that than a solid gold Cartier Santos. Now, this model is known as the Massif. It is 18 karat gold and unpolished, and geez Louise, it looks good. I've actually seen examples of this watch on Chrono24 for around £11,000 to £12,000. It very much epitomises the excess of a stockbroker in the 1980s. Now, I think we can all agree that Godfather Part 2 is probably one of the best films ever made, and Michael Corleone, played again by Al Pacino, is also wearing my favourite watch of the list on here. It is a vintage Omega Constellation, and I think it is the famous Pie-Pan dial. This isn't just my favourite watch on today's list, I've actually considered buying one in recent years. Who knows, maybe my Rolex 6694 will have to make room for it in the near future. Now, there are plenty of Omega Constellations for sale today, starting from as little as £500, going up to £1,500, again, dependent on condition. Age and reference numbers as well, it's all important, and also whether it's in precious metal or not. Now, last time I made one exception for a TV show, Breaking Bad, and I think I'm going to do the same again. Walter White, played fantastically by Bryan Cranston, wears 2 watches throughout the course of Breaking Bad and the follow-up film El Camino. To begin with, the science teacher turned drug lord wears a simple Casio CA53W, also known as the calculator watch. Seems pretty fitting for an ordinary science teacher, right? I actually have the CA53, but it is the green version with a negative display. This watch is pretty cool. I mean, it only costs between £10 to £30, again depends on the model and if Casio has a sale on at the time. But later on in the series, in El Camino, Jesse Pinkman buys Heisenberg a Tag Heuer Monaco Caliber 12, an incredible watch. And the design, of course, was made famous by Steve McQueen, the absolute king of cool. Now, the price for this one seems to be pretty static in the UK at around £6,000 to the £6,500 mark. Pretty much a legendary chronograph in my opinion. Finally, no anti-hero list would be complete without talking about arguably the most outrageous and ridiculously absurd levels of excess ever put to film in recent years. And what makes this film so shocking is that allegedly it's pretty much all true, or even in some cases turned down or tuned down according to most sources. I'm of course talking about The Wolf of Wall Street. Jordan Belfort, played by Forever 25 enthusiast Leonardo DiCaprio, wears a gold-plated Tag Heuer 1000 series. Obviously, it's meant to be a solid gold Submariner here, but since Leonardo DiCaprio is a brand ambassador for Tag, they gave him one of their older models. There's a scene where he takes the watch off and throws it into a crowd of stockbrokers, and madness ensues. Now, Tag Heuer 1000 has a presence on the silver screen before. The fully loomed white version of the diver, called the Night Diver, was worn by Timothy Dalton in his first outing as James Bond. And the non-gold versions can also go anywhere from between £500 to £1,000 depending on condition. But since The Wolf of Wall Street has come out, the gold version has gone right up in expectations and currently goes for around £2,000 to £3,000. So there you have it, boys and girls, another list of watches worn by probably the most popular of anti-heroes. What was your favourite of the choices today? I still have to say my favourite is the Omega Constellation. I think it's just such a cool looking watch. Also, it doesn't help that I'm currently in my vintage phase too. Should I do a hero list? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below, and also let us know your favourite anti-hero watch too. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the WatchGecko channel for more updates. Take care, watch nerds, and I'll see you all next time.